Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I know there are some repeat people in here. And today I'd like to tell a story, I guess you could say. It is the story of how I got into ultra running. I am a couple weeks post first ultra marathon, and I figured now's the perfect time to tell this story. It's a bit long, so if you're not interested in long, rambly stories, you can leave. I don't mind. And if you'd like to see a more reaction style, I reacted to a TikTok that kind of set me off. I will mention it later, and I will link it in the description below so you can check out that video. I plan on reacting to the full-length video, not the TikTok shorts, so stay tuned for that. But without any further ado, let's get into the story. So, my fitness journey really started in October of 2021. I was mentally in a bad spot. My anxiety was really bad, and I was struggling with school and work and everything. And I'm like, I need to change something. And at this point in time, I was 140 pounds, and I'm not really confident in my body. I'm really chubby. I was BMI-wise obese. I'm pretty sure I was actually obese. The mirrors agreed with the BMI, so I was like, something needs to change. I'm not confident in my body. I am struggling in all these other aspects. So I signed up for my local Planet Fitness. And I started going to the gym 2 to 3 times a week. And this helped a little. It wasn't a magic cure to all my problems. But I started working. I focused on the weight machines, and I ran on the elliptical. When I first started, I could only handle the elliptical for 10 minutes. And eventually I got it up to being able to go for an hour, so I was pretty confident about my running. And according to the elliptical distance, I could do a 5K in about 30 minutes, and I'm like, oh, I'm so awesome. This is great. And during it was probably about 3 years I went to this Planet Fitness, it had knocked in my head, I should compete in something, I should run a 5K. I kind of knocked around, but I just kind of half-ass trained there for a few years, and during this time I put on another 30-something pounds. At my highest weight, I was at 172 is the highest noted weight. It could have been higher than that, but the highest noted weight was 172. And for a 5-foot-tall woman, that is class 1 obesity, not good. Could be worse, a lot worse, but I stopped it before it came. So I did this half-ass training, and during these 3 years, I would weight cycle. I would go, I'm gonna lose weight, this is gonna be great. I'd diet and lose 5-10 pounds, and then give up and gain it all back. And around April of 2024, I started again with the whole, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna get my life on track, typical things. And that is, you only truly fail when you give up entirely, so it wasn't a failure. And one thing I like to do when I get into physical fitness is I like to watch content regarding body positivity, fat acceptance, and just overall physical fitness. I love watching videos of people run ultra marathons. I've seen almost every documentary about the Barkley ultra marathons. So I like watching that stuff, especially while at the gym. I'll listen to people talk about it, or I'll watch it. I also watch stuff on the treadmill, watch Netflix on the treadmill, so it's not 100%. But that, it motivates me. I like to use, people who say something is impossible, and I like to go, I'll show you impossible, even if I never interact with these people. The body positivity movement says a lot of people, you can't lose weight, it's impossible, you're just going to gain it all back. So watching that is a huge motivation to me. It basically says, I'll show you weight loss, and I will work harder at the gym and focus on my diet even more. And during this cycle of, I guess this is the last iteration of the cycle, I was watching, there were a few, the Cynical Dude was one of them. I watch him regularly. Alan Roberts I watch regularly, and they were reacting to Anna O'Brien, aka Glitter and Lasers, running a 5K, and I'm watching this, and it's all motivational and super sparkles and stuff, and I'm like, you know what? This woman thinks a 58-minute 5K is impressive, and for somebody her size, finishing a 5K is a big feat, but she made it seem like she was this like pro athlete and this professional runner and this whole big deal and that she's super good at it. And I was like, how hard could it be? She had 12 weeks. I have 6. I had either 6 or 8. I'm going to sign up for a 5K. There was a 5K I'd been planning on running for years. I've been wanting to do it. It was a 4th of July 5K that my hometown would throw every year. I've run it twice so far. I'm going to run it again this year next year because it's fun. It's a short race. It's fun. And then afterward, I get to go walk around a craft show all sweaty and tired, but I digress. So I signed up for my first 5K and started training. And then I promptly got shin splints and couldn't run for 4 weeks, which was great. And when I first started running, I got humbled real quickly. I thought my 30-minute 5K on the elliptical would translate to running pretty well, and as soon as I started running on actual roads and treadmills, I was humbled really quickly. If you can run good distances on the elliptical, fine. The elliptical is a great low-impact thing. When I get shin splints and I'm recovering from it, after a few weeks of rest, I will slowly ease in by using the elliptical because it's really low impact, but it's still pretty decent cardio. So I just thought I was going to be like this superstar. I thought I was really physically healthy already and that I just need a little bit of training. That was not the case. With shin splints and considered the 8-ish weeks of training, I was able to run a 43-minute 5K. I walked a lot of it. They said it was relatively flat, and compared to the 50K I ran, I was very flat, but compared for a beginner runner, that was not flat. There were hills, but I live in a really hilly area. And during the time of training for the 5K, preparing for it, I was watching videos on how to train for a 5K, and just because I was like, I'm going to do self-taught. I didn't sign up for a Couch to 5K program or anything like that. I just kind of figured it out through YouTube tutorials. You can learn a lot from YouTube if you know where to look. And something popped up in my recommended, and it was something about the race with no finish line, or it was like that. And I'm like, I'm curious. They've got me. I watched it, and they're like, oh, every lap you have to do in an hour, and you have to start a lap at the start of each hour, and if you fail to do that, you're out of the race, and the race continues until only one runner is left. And I'm like, oh, that is interesting. And I thought it was just a gimmicky YouTube video, like a Mr. Beast style challenge for runners, and because there was a huge cash prize, and I was like, oh, that's a fun gimmick. And then I found out that is a legitimate race format. No, I was told on my first 50K that backyard ultras and last man standings are different, but I think they're the same. But basically, it was a last man standing. It is an actual race format. And after watching some more content, I'm like, I kind of want to run one. So I set the goal to run one by the time I was 30. And so after the 5K, I was still training because I wanted to run that backyard ultra. And it was like, I was like learning about different ultra formats and really training hard. And then it come that September, October, I'm just browsing race websites just to see if there is a race I'd be interested in running. This whole, that's when I found the race I ended up running, and I chose it because it wasn't start at point A, end at point B, and you have to figure out how to get back to your car or anything like that. It started and ended at the same location, and it looked fun and challenging, and that was the reason why I chose it. Because I didn't know if I would have a crew, I didn't know if I had a ride, I didn't know if any of my friends or family would be able to make it to the race, and I didn't want to make them feel obligated to do so. It was also in the fall, so I knew it wouldn't be terribly hot. Well, it could be. It's New England in October. You never know what you're going to get, but I knew odds are the weather was going to be pleasant because it's October. So I from that point on, I'm like, I'm gonna run this 50K next year, not this year, because it was before the race date. It was like early October, late September when I picked this race. And I'm like, I can't run it this year, but next year I'm gonna run it. So I started training. And basically, I trained my butt off for a year and ran my first ultra marathon, and then I still browse race websites looking for different events. I'm going to be running a timed 8-hour race in December 6th because, well, of course, I'm already prepping for my next ultra. I really love the sport, and I can't believe watching people react to a morbidly obese woman attempt a 5K set me on a path towards ultramarathon running. I was truly influenced by Glitter and Lasers, but she ended up going on multiple different tangents, multiple different things. She doesn't stick to one thing long enough to really accomplish anything, but so I guess her running journey ended with the 5K because she made it sound like there was going to be more running, but that never came. So I didn't stop at the 5K and went 10 times that, and the current game plan is still the Backyard Ultra by the time I'm 30. And I think the next race I'm going to really train and push for is a 50-miler, because someday I'd love to run a 100-mile race just to see if I can. That sounds ridiculous and terrible, so I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Gotta get that belt buckle. So, yeah, that's basically the story of how I went from morbidly obese, actually from obese to really obese, to just barely overweight and running ultramarathons. It's not the most glamorous story, but it's a real one. Like, it took months of hard work, months of training, and it paid off. So you can find the catalyst for change anywhere. What changed from the previous weight cycling attempts to now is that I had something to work towards. So if you're struggling losing weight, you're struggling with any of that, find something to work towards that isn't just a number on a scale. It'll really help you out. So I think that's all I have for now. This was unscripted. I just wanted to be raw and open and tell my story about how I got into ultramarathon running. So with that being said, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Consider liking and or subscribing. It really helps me out. And it just shows that I'm doing the right stuff and that people enjoy what I'm putting out there. And if you have any commentary or anything you want me to talk about, either ultra marathon running or reacting to crazy health and fitness stuff on the internet, let me know. I'm always open to suggestions. And with that, I'll leave you to it. Have a good one.